So second. Those in favor
of Order 8, Rule 46, matters of urgent public importance, on the need for the framework and details of the 500 billion naira social intervention fund. Mr. Speaker, I so move. To accommodate this motion, I so move, Mr. Speaker.
First,
I represent the very good people of E4, Ewikoro Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from the Gateway State to Nigeria. I'm from Ogun State, Mr. Speaker. I rise, Mr. Speaker, to support the first leg of this very and all-important motion, ably moved by Hon Abubakar Chika. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
seconded to the second limb of the motion will be Honorable. Those in favor of the motion.
Shiroro Rafimunya Federal Constituency, and I'm from Niger State. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, the House note that, my motion of the day again is on the need for the framework and details of the 500 billion naira social intervention fund. The House notes that most developing countries are investing in social protection to improve the lives and welfare of the vulnerables. Also note that the World Bank Group and the International Labour Organization have a vision for social protection for all. A world where anyone who needs social protection and access could have it at any time. Aware that 500 billion naira has been appropriated in the 2016 budget for social intervention programs in 5 key areas as defined by the executive, i.e. job creation opportunities for 500,000 teachers and 1,000 artisans across the nation. Also, 5.5 million children are to be provided with meals through school feeding programs. Conditional cash transfer scheme, providing financial support to Nigerians of about 1 million in number who are considered to be vulnerable. And also an enterprises program which will target up to 1 million market women and 400 artisans and 200 agricultural workers nationwide. Also aware that Nigeria at different times had introduced programs like Shopee, but it had failed woefully due to mismanagement and lack of strong institutional structure. Cognizant of the fact that National Assembly has approved 500 billion naira as social intervention funds domiciled under the service-wide board of the Federal Ministry of Budget and National Planning to be implemented by the SSA to the President on Social Protection under the office of the Vice President. Also cognizant of the fact that this is not the right structure to handle such intervention fund to mitigate the plight of the poor and vulnerable by providing concrete and recognizable social protection programs that will provide a lasting legacy in Nigeria. State that there is an urgent need for the federal government to stop the development of the fund until framework has been provided for the said disbursement. Resolve that the House should mandate the Committee on Legislative Budget and Research and Poverty Alleviation to compel the SSA in the Vice President's Office on Social Protection Program to make available framework and details of the program and advise the House within 3 weeks. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder will be
the Federal Constituency. I'm from Adamu State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second this motion because of its importance. I so second.
Naira on social intervention, and we pass this budget without the necessary details that are required just for the fact that we believe and trust the man in charge, the man for change, Mr. President. But however, if you may recall, 500 billion constitute 7.5% of the total budget of this nation in 2016. And part of the project that is being outlined by the executive are questionable. One, let me take the school feeding program. The school feeding program all over the world, globally, is done on two bases. One, when we have enough structure but with low enrollment in our schools. But here we are as a nation with dilapidated structures, with high level of enrollment, and then we are bringing a school feeding program at this time when the economy is even sinking. Mr. Speaker, the second reason why we have school feeding program globally is when there is a mass malnutrition. When there is malnutrition in our communities, whereby the children brain is not developed enough to be able to comprehend what is being taught in school, then school feeding program can come to play. However, on the same school feeding program, Mr. Speaker, the states started saying they do not have funds to support the school feeding program. Because what we saw earlier from the executive, what we heard from the media from the executive, is that the federal government will provide 60%, while the state government will provide 40%. But as of 2 days ago, when the state government continued to clamor they don't have enough funds to support that 40%, now the presidency issued another statement that they don't need their money, and they have already earmarked out of that fund 93.1 billion naira to support this school feeding program. That you can check in Savannah magazine of
take your seats, please, honorable members.
2 days ago. Now, Mr. Speaker, let's also go to conditional cash transfer. Conditional cash transfer is done, that is why it is called condition. There are conditions attached to the disbursement of the stipends to the vulnerable group. And these conditions, based on my own experience, the World Bank can testify, I have worked on conditional cash transfer, is on two folds. One, we have the demand side, and the second, we have the supply side. The demand side is from the beneficiary. The supply side is from the government. What is the supply side? The supply side is you must have done it for a purpose. And what we did in Nigeria under the conditional cash transfer in the past is that whoever will be the beneficiary of conditional cash transfer must have, one, take his child to a school, because you cannot be giving money while a child is roaming the street hawking. So all those who have children, the vulnerable groups that are hawking the street, one must return their children to school. Two, on the health aspect, because we have two aspects, education and health. On the health aspect, you must ensure also that pregnant women from that family go to antenatal, and also the children in that family will accept the various forms of immunization. Three, Mr. Speaker, we are also, all of us, in the dark. Where are they going to implement this thing? We all don't know, because it should not be selective. All of us here have signed a social contract with the Nigerian people. This is the largest forum of representatives of Nigeria. Hence we must know where 7.5% of our budget is going into, with the detail, so that we can brief our own people so that they can benefit from such funds. Mr. Speaker, I am afraid that we have moved from what we call laptop technocrats, and then we are about to find ourselves where a government will be run with iPad technocrats. This is not acceptable by Nigerian people, and I believe, my colleagues, this will not be acceptable by you. I believe the prayers of my motion, Mr. Speaker, please should come to play. I don't want to take much time because I knew our colleagues are ready to contribute in this. With that, Mr. Speaker, I so move again.
Honorable Roti.